Hello everybody, this is Hollywood Joe from Hollywood's World of Sports coming to you tonight about a very touchy subject, very controversial subject, one that is, pissing some people off and accusing a corporation of being racist. And I want to say, before I start this video, I am not racist in any way. I don't believe in being racist. I don't believe in people having racism. But I got to talk about this. Last night, Jack Swagger, WWE superstar Jack Swagger, who calls himself the All-American, and Zeb Coulter, who is known better as Dutch Mantel, cut a promo, and they talked about illegal immigration, about how the illegal immigrants of this country need to be shipped out back to Mexico, and talked about how they're stealing their medical insurance and jobs and stuff of that nature. And today, a member of the Tea Party stepped up and accused the WWE of making the Tea Party look like horrible people, look like extremists, look like racist. Now, before I say anything, I understand that, Jerry the King Lawler and Michael Cole mentioned that Jack Swagger and Zeb received fan mail. It was part of the script. Received fan mail from guys like, Alex Jones and Rush Limbaugh and other political news people of that nature. Okay, it's people, you gotta understand something. This is a storyline. Alright, this is a American man taking on the Mexican man for the World Heavyweight Championship at the biggest event of the year. Okay? WrestleMania 29, big event, MetLife Stadium, okay. I get that. Here's the thing. It is a TV show. I'm sure if you asked Alberto Del Rio, I don't think he cares what Jack Swagger is saying. I don't think he is offended by it, because it's his job to represent and stick up for the Mexican American people of this country. That is his character. Okay, going into this, Jack Swagger, who's been on the sidelines for quite some time, needed to be pushed. He shockingly won the Elimination Chamber, which I thought was awesome. But guess what? People who didn't even know Jack Swagger on Raw last night are talking about him today. Guess what? WWE did something smart. They got heat again. They got heat for pushing buttons. And before all these Tea Party fanatics get all pissed off and say that, the chairman of the board, Vince McMahon, is making their party look bad, not one time in that entire promo, because I watched it closely again. I've watched it multiple times. Jack Swagger or Zeb Coulter never ever once said anything about the Tea Party. In fact, it's being known what Jack Swagger's doing is Jack Swagger's America. Okay? Jack Swagger, Zeb Coulter, whatever you want to call them, they aren't a part of the Tea Party. They never said they were a part of the Tea Party. People need to understand this. This is entertainment. Okay? This is supposed to entertain you. It's not real life. I guarantee you, Jake Hager, because that's Jack Swagger's real name, Jake Hager, who's a Oklahoma boy, grew up in the South, probably doesn't really feel that way in real life. Okay? It's a character. Dutch Mantel, one of the most humble guys I've ever heard. I've heard him speak in interviews, like legit interviews that aren't part of a storyline. Very humble and sincere guy. It's a character. Just like Alberto Del Rio was a rich Mexican. That was a character. You know, people are getting all bent out of shape, all up in arms, saying that Vince McMahon is a racist. Actually, no, Vince McMahon isn't a racist. At least, as far as I know. I mean, Vince McMahon, think about this, guys. If Vince McMahon was a racist, you think he'd have, you know, Mexicans, African Americans, Chinese, Italians, Irishmen, Brits, Scotsmen. Do you really think any of those guys would be on his show? Let's think about that for a minute. You know, it's a freaking character. And I'll be honest with you. Even though it was a scripted promo, there's a lot of people, and I'm not saying I'm one of them. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But there's a lot of people out there that feel the way Jack Swagger and Zeb Coulter felt in that promo and spoke what they did in that promo. So are you gonna call all the people who believed what was said in that promo last night, you're gonna call them all racist because they believe a certain way? Because honestly, I mean, come on. You have to look at it from this point. If what they said in that promo wasn't a truth to a certain extent, people wouldn't be up in arms like they are right now about it. If people didn't feel what they were saying was somewhat the truth, because come on, people. JBL, John Bradshaw Layfield, this is the same guy who was at a house show in Germany, years back, and he walked across the apron doing the Hitler sign. You didn't really hear much about it. But you know what? Was JBL racist? No. I mean, for God's sakes, JBL was a part of an awesome tag team with an African-American guy named Ron Simmons. I don't get how WWE does one, little controversial storyline, little promo that's scripted, and it turns into this big thing. Oh, well, WWE is racist. Vince McMahon's racist. No. It's a story. You want to see something racist? You want to see something, racially degrading is what I would say? Watch the movie Crash. Okay? If you haven't seen it, watch the movie Crash. It got nominated for a lot of awards. A lot of stars were in the movie. And you want to talk about racism and racial, stereotypes, watch that movie. Then come back and talk to me about something. Because if that movie wouldn't offend you to a certain extent, the stuff that happens in that movie didn't offend you, then neither what Jack Swagger and Zeb Coulter said on Raw should offend you, because it's the same thing. That was a movie. This is an entertainment, entertainment show. WWE's not a political show, although they are politically active in a lot of things, but that's a totally different subject matter. It's like I said, hate on Vince all you want. But in a lot of ways, and I'll say this, and a lot of people will probably be pissed off, some of what Vince is doing now is payback. Is payback for his wife, Linda McMahon, blowing $100 million on 2 campaign runs, both of which she lost. And let me tell you something. Those years that Linda ran for Senate, Vince kept WWE pretty squeaky clean and out of the light of controversy. Guess what? Linda's not running for office no more. Vince is gonna push the envelope as much as he can. Vince is gonna be controversial. Vince hasn't been that way in a very, very long time. But guess what? He's gonna be. He's gonna push little buttons here and there. And I'll tell you right now, you may not like it, but you are like me. Everybody's talking about it. And that's what Vince wants again. He wants everybody to talk. He is taking two guys that are not really big superstars. I mean, they're known, but they're not well known like a Rock or John Cena. He is taking these two superstars and putting them into a controversial storyline, a politically incorrect storyline, and he is going to make money off of them, for them, and he's going to raise their superstardom to new heights. Because I guarantee you, by the time Wrestlemania 29 rolls around and if Vince is still sticking with the storyline, everybody will know who Jack Swagger and Alberto Del Rio is. This is Vince's way of pushing two superstars for the future. As whether you like it or not, Swagger and Del Rio really haven't been pushed as hard as they can be. So go ahead, if you're a Republican or you're a Democrat or you're Tea Party, get all up in arms, get all pissed off, get all angry and claim racial, stereotypical stuff. Well, guess what? The rest of us wrestling fans who know what wrestling is all about, we're going to continue to laugh at you. Because it's a freaking storyline. It's a freaking entertainment show. Get over it. WWE's done a much worse in the past than having two guys talk about their beliefs and their characters. I love controversy. Yeah, if I'm not creating it, I love watching it. Because everybody gets in an uproar. I'm not in an uproar over it. I think it's awesome. And there's other people who think that it's awesome. They think what Vince is doing with this is brilliant. Brilliant. And he's got everybody talking, isn't he? How more brilliant can you get? With that being said, my name is Hollywood Joe from Hollywood's World of Sports. Remembering always, if it isn't me, if it isn't Vince McMahon, it could always be somebody else. Controversy doesn't come without criticism.